Hi everyone, this is Matthew Janda for CardRunners, and I'm here with a live play video where I'm actually going to play three limits: no limit 50, no limit 100, and no limit 200 of zone poker, which is basically the Zoom equivalent on Bovada. Okay, still grinding away. So King 10 off in the upper left. I'm going to go ahead and open it after the cutoff limp's going to go ahead and raise to 9. I think when the cutoff limps, this hand's actually going to play pretty well against his stacked up because it has a good amount of non-robust equity. I mean, obviously it sucks that the small blind had a really good re-squeeze shipping size, but there's not much we can do. We're going to fold here. But yeah, I was going to say King 10 off actually plays pretty well against the stacked ups that we're up against. So if we just get called and get to realize our equity on the flop, then we're actually going to have a hand that plays very well there. Like, I'd way rather have a hand than like King 10 off than like 7-9 suited against that stacked up. But yeah, it was not to be. All right. So other stuff I want to talk about while we're doing this video, just while we have some extra time, is, again, we really want to focus on the fact that if we open, especially if we open in like one of the earlier positions and make a relatively small raise, the big blind's range is going to look a lot different than any other possible cold callers because the big blind's getting such a good price when we open to like 5 at a no limit 200 table. So we really want to be aware of that when we're deciding whether or not to c-bet. The fact that the big blind has a weaker range is going to let us sort of value bet thinner, and we're just going to have to be aware of more hands you can possibly show up with. 10-7 off seems, or 10-7 suited seems really close, and I'm going to go ahead and just open it. It feels like I'm randomly clicking between 6 and 5, and I honestly think they're both fine. All right, so that's the weakest hand I open in the cutoff, and I just happen to get 3-bet there, so that's a snap muck. All right. Yeah, see, I'm just randomly clicking 5 or 6. So I don't have a strong preference over opening 2.5 or 3 in positions just in general. So that's why you see me kind of clicking between the two. I really should just stick with the 1, but I think the fact that I'm playing 3 different limits is making me, it's getting me I usually think I open to like 5, but because we're playing multiple limits and I'm opening to 1.5 here and to just 3 in the upper right, I think it's making me just click 6 rather than 5, which is what I usually do in cutoff middle position and under the gun. Okay. All right. So hopefully everything's been pretty clear so far. I know I do struggle to talk while I'm playing a bunch of tables and they only give me 7 or 8 seconds. I guess I have 14 seconds. I've been saying 7. They only give us like 14 seconds to decide what to do, which is not a long time. But hopefully everything's been pretty clear. I'm trying to think if there's any cool concepts to discuss, but really, not really. I mean, for live play videos, you really just have to hope something interesting happens. I am a big advocate of, as I was talking about last video, playing hands in your head in a bunch of different ways, like replaying them with getting different outcomes and seeing how you like the way you played your hand. I think that helps you a lot for improving. So I'm still going to open only 5 here, I think, because they're a little bit more shallow, so I think I can get away with opening a little bit smaller. Although it's not a big deal. 6 would be fine too. And then I am going to go ahead and open to like 3.5 here. Man, I love it when people make really tiny 3-bets. Call, get lucky one time. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just pots it right here. That's not potting it. So we're going to just call here and hope to get there. I'm definitely not going to try to raise and do something fancy here against someone that's doing weird lines. I'm just going to take my awesome price, bink, and then hope I win. Now we will be raising. So you got to raise here. Like, you don't want to, like, sometimes I see people slow play stuff like this. You don't want to slow play something like this. There's just too many bad cards that can come on the river. So I'm actually going to raise to something like, I think 23 seems fine. I'm fine with giving him a really good price, hoping he does something stupid. Oh, that's a river I'm very happy to see. All right, we're just going to call on the bottom left. I think that's very straightforward. Then we're going to go on in the upper left. Boop. And hope he calls cool. And we win. Awesome. I like it. I like it when that happens.